So that's how I know that you were there when Jeff was killed. So the question is, like I said, did you go there and kill him because you have me fooled and you're just a monster? Or did you go there because you're desperate for something and things got out of hand? This is your chance to write your side of the story. That's all I can give you, is an opportunity.
Pete, what I did was wrong, but I didn't kill him. Okay? I did not kill anybody.
En las primeras horas de la tarde del 23 de junio de 2021, en Bethesda, Maryland, Geoffrey Biddle, de 66 años, fue encontrado muerto a tiros en el sótano de su casa suburbana. Ese mismo día, Billy Phillips, de 38 años, un ex empleado recientemente despedido por conducta financiera indebida, había ingresado a la residencia de Biddle en circunstancias desconocidas. Aproximadamente a las 8 de la noche, los vecinos reportaron haber escuchado ruidos fuertes, pero no se realizaron llamadas inmediatas. Cuando Biddle no respondió a los mensajes, una verificación de bienestar condujo al macabro descubrimiento: múltiples heridas de bala y señales de lucha cerca de su escritorio. Las imágenes de vigilancia capturaron a un hombre que se parecía a Phillips ingresando a la propiedad poco antes de la hora estimada de la muerte. Dentro del automóvil de la víctima, los investigadores recuperaron más tarde una chequera y tarjetas bancarias pertenecientes a Biddle. Un análisis forense adicional reveló las huellas dactilares de Phillips en la puerta trasera y una huella parcial cerca de las escaleras del sótano. Mientras la policía revisaba las cámaras de tráfico, rastrearon el vehículo de Phillips saliendo del vecindario menos de una hora después del tiroteo, dirigiéndose hacia Rockville.
All right, Billy. Do you know why they're here?
Not exactly.
What do you mean by not exactly? Do you have some idea?
They told me I was under arrest and that I would be talked to when I got here.
They didn't tell you what you're under arrest for?
No, sir.
Did they tell you how to warrant?
They did.
But they didn't tell you what it was about?
No, sir.
You don't have any idea what it would be about? So you're here about some checks that you deposited. Okay.
Okay.
Have you deposited any checks lately?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why do you sound like that?
Billy fue llevado para ser interrogado, pensando que podría salir del apuro hablando. Pero los detectives ya tenían un rastro de cheques falsificados y grabaciones de vigilancia que contaban una historia muy diferente.
I could explain it to you, but you probably wouldn't get it.
Well, why don't you try? Because I've heard a lot of shit, so maybe I would.
I deposited checks that I shouldn't have deposited, mainly out of desperation with new baby on the way and back was against the wall.
Whose checks did you deposit?
Steve Willard's.
Steve Phillips. Did they go through or did they bounce?
They went through.
Okay. How much were they for?
Normally like 25.
Okay. How did you come into possession of the checks?
Again, some of the checks I already had.
Okay.
In my possession. They were given to me, and then certain things happened.
So you mean they were like legitimate checks that he wrote to you?
They were given to me in case of emergencies.
So blank checks.
Okay. With the understanding that, okay, let's not write the bank off here.
Okay.
Okay, but let's, again, it was in case of emergency, and I worked really close with the man.
Okay, how long did you work for him for?
Since 2016. Yep, 2016, 2017.
Until?
2020. July sometime.
Why'd you leave?
Well, he went crazy. There's no other way to say it.
I mean, I've talked to the guy, so like.
He went. They said it was well, he said it was what's it called? When you have the mood swing back and forth.
Bipolar.
Bipolar.
Mm-hmm.
However, you know, it being as close as I was to him and talking, it was more like paranoid, schizophrenic.
Yeah. What was he paranoid about?
A lot of people in the company.
Cell fire?
Yes, sir. Okay. And
what was he paranoid? Like, what about people in the company?
well, certain people coming after his position, trying to take over, trying to screw him over at the board, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
And unfortunately, he was right that they were trying to do that, and my job was monitoring and giving him information.
Were you like an IT auditor?
I wasn't an auditor. I was more of a jack of all trades IT personnel.
Okay. How much was he paying you?
$83 a year.
Okay. Plus health insurance and all that?
Plus health insurance. And then what kind of went sideways was Marie. And Marie got sick. And she had an episode back in February. She had another episode. And I covered for her. And ended up getting, put in my sling. And Mr. Willard, who had given me standing orders if anything would ever happen again with Marie to handle it this way, then report to him. Well, he was at well, were you being funny?
No, there's literally one inside still on the island.
No, there's Shepard Pratt.
Shepard in Baltimore.
Okay, so he was Shepard Pratt, and so I couldn't get in touch with him.
Steve was?
A medida que la investigación avanzaba, los detectives descubrieron pruebas condenatorias. Las cámaras de vigilancia capturaron a Billy depositando casi $15,000 en cheques fraudulentos, apenas unas horas después de la hora confirmada de la muerte de Jeff. Billy, que había cumplido condena por un robo bancario anterior, había recibido una segunda oportunidad de Jeff, y su socio Steve ganaba un salario considerable, e incluso se le confiaban cheques en blanco. Pero ahora, bajo presión, Billy comienza a admitir desesperación, afirmando que usó cheques antiguos, pero sigue negando cualquier participación en el asesinato. Sin embargo, la cronología se estaba estrechando y la historia ya no encajaba.
So are Steve Willard's checks the only checks that you've cashed? Or deposited? I'll say cash and deposit, and I use them kind of indeterminate,
There was...
You thinking? If I showed you some pictures of some checks, might they jog your memory?
The thing is,
Who's Jeff Biddle?
the guy I used to work for.
You ever cash any of his checks?
I have.
Have you ever forged any checks from Jeff to yourself?
Twice.
Okay, when was that?
I don't even know when that was.
What do you mean I know when that was?
It was recently.
How recent?
Last week.
Okay. It's kind of shitty timing, isn't it? That's kind of shitty timing, isn't it? How do you know Jeff? You said you used to work for him?
Yes.
Okay. This is kind of like a shitty printout. I'll see if I can get you a better one, but do you recognize that picture?
Yes, sir.
So this one is a check that you deposited into an ATM at the Navy Federal over in Crown.
Yes.
Okay. I know it's kind of hard to make it out over here. Here's a better picture of it. It's for $9,500.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you deposited it on, it looks like, you can't read it here very well, but it's on June 23rd, which was last Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
at 11:53 p.m. Okay, this one, you deposited, I believe with a teller, on June 23rd for $4,450. June 23rd, Navy Federal. There's no time on here, but I believe it was somewhere around 1 o'clock. Could be wrong about that. Where did you get those checks?
What, Jeff's checks?
Mm-hmm.
See, this is where I'm real scared right this second.
Okay.
And I mean, you've been nice to me.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's been nice. I want to talk to my fiance.
Okay.
Okay.
I can see about that. So, I can see you're getting kind of emotional. So, I'm just going to ask, you know what happened to Jeff, right?
I do, and that was, I didn't do anything.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stop you there. We'll talk about that in a second. Okay? We'll get to that in a second. Alright? Bill, you seem like a nice guy, man. Like, there's nothing personal going on here. Okay? Like, I'm not being nice to you as an act. I don't think anybody's been nice to you as an act. If you were a I would be one.
I understand.
Okay?
It's okay if I drink my water while you're talking?
Absolutely, absolutely. But why is Jeff's card in your wallet? See, Billy, the thing is that things happen and things have happened, okay? And everything that happens for a reason, you know? And, you know, Jeff's dead, okay? And somebody killed him. It was a murder, okay? And I know that you were there, and I can prove it. I can prove it to you right here that you were there. But before we get there, okay, like, everybody has all this nice shit to say about Jeff. You know what I mean? Like, that's really the story here that we have so far, is how nice of a guy Jeff is, and how, like, I can't believe he had no enemies. I can't believe anybody would do this to him. And there's a reason what happened to him. I'm not saying because, like, he was a bad guy and made enemies with you or anybody else, okay? But, you know, obviously, like, you're in a situation in your life where there's a certain level of desperation, okay? I know Steve Willard fired you. You know, whether it was because you did something wrong or he was going crazy is kind of irrelevant.
Well, he didn't.
Well, his HR got rid of you. Okay, again, whether it was for a legitimate reason or not, that still puts you in a f***ed up situation financially. You got a new kid on the way, and you're strapped for cash. Okay, so I can completely understand, you know, like, how you're in this spot. You have a history, obviously, with Steve of stealing checks or, you know, writing fraudulent checks. Jeff's got money. You go there with the intention of taking his checks, and maybe he's home when he's not supposed to be, and something happens. You know, maybe you're like, you know, you did prison time, right, in Virginia. You don't want to go back to prison, and shit gets out of control and out of hand. That's a very different story than, like, you know, Billy's a monster that went to Jeff's house and brutally murdered him for no reason. Okay, those are two very different stories. All right, but here's the problem. I'm going to show you some records, and I'm going to show you how I know that you were there. Who's that?
La informática forense tomó el centro del escenario. El historial del teléfono de Jeff mostró que estuvo activo hasta justo después de las 9 de la mañana. incluyendo la búsqueda de canciones de los Beatles y el inicio de sesión en su banco. Luego, de repente, nada. Esa misma mañana, el todoterreno blanco de Billy fue visto cerca de la calle de Jeff. Un correo electrónico falsificado con la voz de Jeff fue enviado a las 9:07. Luego, una imagen final. Billy, captado en video alejándose de la casa de Jeff. Mientras los detectives desglosan este rompecabezas pieza por pieza, Billy comienza a inquietarse. Su voz tiembla, pero aún así no confiesa.
That's me.
Who's that?
Me. Me.
You're wearing damn near the same shit you're wearing now.
Yep, me. That's me. That's me. That's Mr. Biddle.
I need your federal account records. I'm not gonna go through that right now. There's something specific I'm looking for to show you. So these records are from Jeff's phone, okay? Go ahead in a second. Have the scoop closer to you? Alright, so I want you to look at the date, okay? So 6:22, that's the day before Jeff was killed. Okay? This is at 10:20 p.m. Probably goes to sleep sometime after here, okay? 6:23 at 5:55 a.m. He Googles Good Day Sunshine, which is a song.
Okay.
Alright? 6:23, 5:55, Good Day Sunshine, he searches for it again. 6:23, 2021, YouTube. 6:23, 5:55, Good Day Sunshine, he's listening to the song. Here he starts listening to the Beatles. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, back to YouTube at 6 o'clock, here at 6 o'clock. Then right here, 6:23, that's 6:59 a.m. What's that? Can you read that?
Suntrust.
He goes to his Suntrust account.
Okay.
Right here, same exact time, he probably clicked another link on his Suntrust account, okay? This is from his phone. Put that aside for a second. This is a forwarded email. The top half was forwarded to my partner, okay? At 9:07 a.m., an email goes from Jeff to some of the membership of PSI.
Okay.
Had a family emergency come up this morning. More than likely we've out of reach for the day. Apologize for the short email and will be in touch when I can. Thanks, Jeff. So when they got this email, immediately they became suspicious because Jeff wasn't supposed to work on this day. What I know about Jeff and what I'm sure you know about him is that he's a workaholic. So he's always at work. Well, he took off on Wednesday the 23rd. He was going on a date with this girl he just started dating. They were supposed to be going all day. So right away, the company is like, you know what I mean? Like, that's weird. Do you drive that car often?
Yes.
Yeah. So the times on this camera are a tad off. You know how some of those cameras can be? But at 7:02 a.m., this car goes by Jeff's house. So this camera is the corner house, which is the one next to Jeff's.
Okay.
So this is Jeff's street. Okay? So right around the same time that SunTrust website, accesses this car, which right now, I can't see the tag on this, okay? But that's your car. I know it's your car. Going by. Then, that email sent at 9:07. All right? No other emails or any text messages go out from Jeff's phone. 9:20 in the morning. It's a bad picture because it's a still shot I took from a video, okay? But this is you walking away from his house. And when we get your cell phone records back, I know exactly what they're going to say. You're an IT guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know how cell phones work, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know that their apps are always updating. They're always trying to reach out to Wi-Fi and reach out to update.
Mm-hmm.
So we get this data called timing advance data.
Mm-hmm.
30 or so seconds, your phone is reaching out. I know what your cell phone's going to come back and say. I don't have it yet. I don't have the records back yet. That's how I know that you were there when Jeff was killed. So the question is, like I said, did you go there and kill him because you have me fooled and you're just a monster? Or did you go there because you're desperate for something and things got out of hand? And this is your opportunity, to tell that side of the story. They say there's two sides to every story. Well, if the side that I had was favorable to you already, you wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? So this is it, man. Like, this is your shot to tell us what happened. I know what happened. I don't know all the details. I don't know how it happened. I don't know why it happened. But this is your chance to maybe put a little bit of an explanation on it, because people want to know, and people are going to be asking, and it matters. Maybe there's a reason for why what happened, or maybe there isn't. But there's only two people who know the answer to that, and one of them's dead.
And the other one's a convicted felon.
I don't care that you're a convicted felon at all. That has nothing to do with why you're here. I don't, yes, you're a convicted felon, you're a convicted bank robber, but that was a long time ago. Okay? And you're not here because I was like, oh shit, Billy did a bank robbery, he must have killed Jeff.
No.
You're here because everything lines up. The evidence puts you there. That also goes to show that, this wasn't some pre-planned out horrific thing. You did a awful job if it would have made it this is a pre-planned thing. But it looks bad because you're a big dude, you're 36 years old, he's a 66-year-old man killed in his house. It looks bad, man. And you're wearing the same clothes that you're wearing at the bank. You're wearing the same clothes that you're wearing on that video. Nothing here looks good for you. But again, the thing you have to hold on to is that there might be a reason for this. You didn't mean for this to happen. Or maybe you did, and I'm wrong, and you're just but you don't strike me as that. The guys who took you into custody out by your apartment, they called me right away, right? And they're like, dude, this guy is as nice as can be. You've been as nice and as respectful as can be here. I'm younger than you and you're calling me sir and shit. You don't have to do that anyways, you know what I mean? I'm not sir, I'm just Pete. But there's no question that you did this. There isn't, or that you were there.
I was there, but I didn't kill him.
So what happened? If you were there but you didn't kill him, what happened?
And this is the part that just...
So that's you on video.
El detective presiona más fuerte, ofreciendo a Billy una salida, un motivo, un momento de clemencia. Tal vez Jeff estaba armado. Tal vez fue un accidente. Billy se aferra a una sola frase. No lo maté. Pero sus explicaciones son débiles, desordenadas. Admite haber robado a Jeff, pero no haberlo asesinado. Dice que llamó a la puerta. Fumó un cigarrillo. Entró. La culpa de Billy lo envuelve como una soga y comienza a quebrarse, pero aún no cede.
What happened? Was somebody else with you?
No.
Okay. Did he shoot himself?
No.
Okay. I know he didn't shoot himself because of where he was shot and how many times he was shot. So what the f*** happened? I know he was alive between 6 and 7. I know what time you got there. Okay? I know he didn't make that call to SunTrust unless he did it because you made him do it. You have his f***ing card in your wallet. You cashed his checks that you forged to yourself the day he was murdered. And I'm not yelling at you to yell at you or being I'm trying to get it through your head that this is f***ed up. And I'm giving you the chance to tell me what happened. Because if you don't give me the chance, if you don't tell me what happened, you know what it looks like. And you know what they're going to say. I can't make you any promises, man, but you're looking at, this is serious. You think your bank robbery was bad? How much time did you do for that? 7. You think that was bad? Bro, you're looking at going to prison for the rest of your life, Because the way it looks is it looks like you broke into this house, you kidnapped this man, and you held him hostage for 2 hours and murdered him in cold blood, and then cashed his checks on not only the day of the murder, but 2 days later. How does that look? It frustrates me because I know there's a reason. I know you didn't just go there to kill that dude. Because I believe, because you have some working knowledge of his company and his work habits because you used to work for him, that you had no idea he was going to be there. I don't think you went there to hurt him. I think you went there to steal checks.
Actually, I knew he was...
So you knew he was going to be there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how did you end up there at 7 o'clock in the morning? Why did you go there? I mean, this is it, Billy. Like right now, sitting here talking to me, this is the biggest moment of your life. Okay? It's bigger than when your daughter was born last month or earlier this month. This is the biggest moment of your life right now.
But there's just no way.
There's no what? You know, you're sitting here telling me I didn't do it, I didn't this, I didn't that, but you're not giving me anything other than, like, give me something here. Give yourself something here. You know what I mean? Like, this is your chance to explain what happened. Because it doesn't look good. It looks horrible. You know? But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there just isn't a reason. Maybe that's why you can't tell me anything. Because maybe you did just go there to kill him because you were mad at him. Is that not what happened?
No, that's not what happened, Pete.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, Pete. Call me Pete. That's my name. Okay? You know, you don't need to call me detective or sir or anything. Call me Pete. Like,
see, no matter what I do, you're not going to believe me. It won't matter.
well, you haven't told me anything, Billy. Like, you say that, but you haven't told me anything. All you've told me is that you were there. But then you won't say, and you said nobody else was there. You know, so it's not like you went there with somebody else. All you've told me is that you were there, which I already knew. You know, and then it won't matter. That's all you've said. So, you say that, but how do you know? Like, I'm telling you, man, I'm not lying to you. This is your one opportunity to put out there what happened. Because everything's going to change after this. You know what happened. Like, you know how it happened. You're the only one that can put those pieces together. Because again, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and be like, oh, you can just explain your way out of this and it'll all be okay.
I'm not. You know,
but the fact is that, like, again, there's a huge difference between, you know, there's a lot of, like, when things happen, when people get shot or whatever, like, there's a lot of different reasons. Like, on one end of the spectrum, you have, like, where, like, somebody shoots and kills somebody in self-defense, right? That happens. And on the other end of the spectrum, you have a serial killer. You know, that just kills people just to kill them. There's a huge space in between. And I don't think you meant to kill Jeff at all, okay? But I think something got out of hand, you know? And what happened, happened. But, dude, I'm telling you, if this is the spectrum, with what I have, what I've seen, okay, what that crime scene looks like, you know, and you sitting here and not telling me anything, it looks closer to this end of the spectrum than this end. Okay, when maybe the truth is somewhere in here. But only you can put that out there. Only you can give that. You know, only you can give yourself that chance. Give yourself, like, help yourself here, man. Like, I'm throwing you a line. You know, with the amount of evidence that I have, and I know that I don't have yet, but that I will have because I've been doing this for a while, and I know how these things unfold. Okay, like, I know what's gonna come in the future. Evidence-wise, at least I can take a pretty good guess. Like, I didn't even have to come in here and talk to you today. You know, you could have gone straight up the road. But that's not really how I operate. You know, I believe there's always a reason for something. I mean, dude, I know the circumstances behind when your bank robbery thing. Like, I read the report, I talked to the investigator. Like, clearly that was the act of a desperate man. That was not a bank, you know, like a serial bank robber or something you see on TV. You know, Cash and Steve Willard checks. I know about all that. I mean, obviously that's not why we're here. I don't think there's any mystery why we're here. You know, Cash and Jeff checks, like, or stealing checks from Jeff. Like, you got no job, or, well, you may have a job, but you've gotten fired from one. You got a baby on the way. I know how stressful that can be, even in the best of circumstances. And so do you, because you have other kids. You know? I can understand why you would go try to steal or try to, you know, do what you have to do to feed yourself and your family. You know, and I understand, because I've been doing this job for a while, that sometimes shit just happens and it just gets out of hand. And you don't intend for something to happen, but it does. You know? But again, I can't stress it enough, man. Like, it's only you that can make that a reality. It's only you that can put that out there. Because what we have right now don't look good. His card is in your wallet.
I know it is.
You know, you deposited $94 cash, okay, from a man who religiously kept around $100 in his wallet. So even if you didn't take the money out of his wallet, it looks like you did. You took his checks, you took his card, and probably his cash. And he's dead. I mean, that doesn't look good. Are you a monster?
No, I'm not a monster.
Okay. Are you a cold-blooded killer?
No.
Okay. Then something happened. You know, maybe something got out of hand. Maybe Jeff, you got there, Jeff fought back. You know, I don't know. Maybe you're like, this guy knows me, like I don't want to go back to prison, and shit just went south. You know, and you shot him once, and then you're like, well, I gotta kill him now.
I don't even have a gun.
Then how are you there and he ends up shot 4 times? Maybe he had the gun. You know, like, that's what I'm saying, Billy. Is like, you're a convicted felon, and I don't say that to be an asshole. I say that because I know how hard it can be for a convicted felon to get a gun. You know, so it totally makes sense that you wouldn't have a gun. Maybe he had the gun. Maybe you went to his house, there's a disagreement, he pulls out a gun, you're a big dude, you get it away from him, and shit goes. Maybe that's what happened. But, like, you're not giving me that. I mean, I just spun that up in my head, but I see how that could be a possibility. But you're not giving me that. What it looks like is that you went there with a gun and you fucking killed him. So if that's not what happened, tell me. Because this is the only shot you're going to have.
Sin nada más que decir, Billy pide un abogado. La entrevista termina, pero fuera de esa sala, los investigadores actúan rápido. Un registro en la casa de su novia descubre una pistola de calibre 22. Coincide con las balas encontradas en el cuerpo de Jeff. El ADN de Billy está en el arma. La evidencia es abrumadora.
Why don't we just go back to how you got the checks? How did those 3 checks come into your possession? Like 7 o'clock, you pull onto the street. What happens from there? What happens when you get there? Walk me through it.
Pete, I'm scared to death right this second.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
I want to trust you. Okay. I do.
Okay.
And legitimately, I have an explanation.
Okay.
It's not great. It's still bad.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, then what you need to do is trust yourself. You don't need to worry about trusting me. Okay.
But you're asking me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, every single time, hell, even Willard told me, you know, to not say anything and ask for an attorney. But I've always felt that, you know, just talking to somebody, you know, being upfront is always the better option. But
well, Billy, the thing is, man, is like.
And I don't want to be labeled as a monster because I'm not a monster.
So that's what I'm telling you, bro.
But they're already labeling me a monster.
Nobody's labeled you anything. Okay? It's just me and you here. Okay? Nobody knows you're here except for me and the guys that I work with.
Hell,
you know?
My fiance and my son, though.
Well, there's nothing we can do about that, okay?
You know, but...
Except put the right picture out there. Don't put the monster picture out there. That's not what it is. Let's put the right picture out there.
But see, you're not gonna believe you're not gonna believe it. I don't have a gun. I'm sorry, I just don't have one. Okay. Now, how I came into the checks it was the same day. Okay.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, man. Is like it doesn't necessarily. Like, you're sitting here saying I'm not gonna believe you. We haven't told me yet. First of all. Second of all, like. Bro, like, there's only one way to go here, and that's up, because it looks f***ed up. So Tell me what happened. Tell me how you got there. Tell me how you got the checks. Put the story out there. This is your chance to write your side of the story. You know? And you don't have to trust me to believe that that's the truth. Like, this is your shot to write your side of the story.
I didn't kill anybody, Pete.
So what happened? You said you got there before 8 o'clock. How did you get in the house?
This is my life. I can't afford to have it all twisted up, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying, man. This is your life. And this is a pivotal moment of it. And this is your chance to explain how we got here.
But even if I explain it and I show you and I tell you I didn't do it, I'm still going to be charged for it, and now it's going to be up to the damn courts, and the courts.
How did you get in the house?
Through the front door.
Was it locked or unlocked?
It was unlocked.
You rang the doorbell?
I knocked on the door a few times.
The front door?
Yes.
Alright, so then what happened?
I'm not a monster, Pete.
Well, tell me. Tell me why. Prove it to me. You knock on the door. What happens? How many times you knock on the door?
Twice with my standard knock I do.
Okay. Did Jeff come to the door?
No.
So did you let yourself in?
I went and smoked a cigarette first, thinking maybe he was just in the bathroom or he was running late. Not what you think, Pete.
Well, all we got right now is you at the door. You knocked on the door. You went and smoked a cigarette. Then what happened?
Should I have an attorney or no?
I can't tell you that, man. This is your life, man. This is your chance to tell us what happened. This is your chance to get it out there. You know? This is your chance to write your side of the story. That's all I can give you, is an opportunity.
Pete, what I did was wrong, but I didn't kill him. Okay? I did not kill anybody.
So what happened? How did you get into the house? You said the front door, it was unlocked. So you let yourself into the house.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I need an attorney.
En mayo de 2023, Billy Phillips fue condenado a cadena perpetua más 65 años por el asesinato de su antiguo jefe, Geoffrey Biddle. Tras declararse culpable de asesinato en primer grado, robo a mano armada y allanamiento de morada, Phillips recibió la pena máxima bajo la ley de Maryland. El tribunal destacó la naturaleza calculada del crimen, señalando pruebas de un motivo financiero y premeditación. Con su sentencia, Phillips pasará el resto de su vida tras las rejas, sin posibilidad de libertad condicional.